Yo, welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Today we are doing a ramp test courtesy of Zwift. And unlike the last time I did this test, my legs are rested, I've eaten well, so I'm pretty chill. So I'm hoping for a really good result. Now, the reason why I'm doing this test is because I want to see where my fitness is at and really find out if all of the training I've been doing over these last couple of months has actually paid off. And so if increasing your fitness is important to you, then it is a good idea to do these tests every few months. So I'm not expecting some crazy high output numbers, but I just want to check to see where I'm at now that we're halfway through the winter time. So let's get started. All right, so a few things I want to address before we get started. Number one, we've already established that an FTP is just a number, and it's a personal number at that. Generally speaking, this number is mostly used for training purposes in which you can map out your power training zones and build from there. Number two, there are so many variables, especially in racing, where your FTP may not tell the whole entire story. For example, you could have an okay or average FTP for your category, but your race tactics like cornering or drafting might be really, really good, or you may have some crazy high 30-second power output where you can sprint or chase down attacks. Those aspects, in my opinion, are just as important, if not more important, than your FTP in a crit race. And number three, I've been putting in all this work on all of my bike build videos for my LA Sprint, and yet it seems like the videos that receive the most views are my Zwift videos. So that just tells me you guys must really enjoy watching me suffer, you evil, sadistic jerks. I'm just kidding, I'm just playing. So for today's ramp test, it was actually somewhat last minute, although I was still prepared. I took 3 full days completely off the bike, and with all the carbs I've been eating over those 3 days, I figured today would be the perfect day. So I gave myself plenty of time to warm up, and I made sure to put the trainer on erg mode, something that I forgot to do last time. Now about my training, so I've been following the 80-20 rule where I spend 80% of my time spinning in zone 1, occasionally zone 2, and then the other 20% is high intensity. For those high intensity days, I don't really follow any specific structured interval sessions, but instead I use those days to race, or most recently to do the Tour de Zwift quote unquote group ride stages. And while I do think that proper interval training is very important, and it is something I plan to implement, but I've also seen cyclists who way overthink the training component and then end up either overtraining or simply stagnating in their fitness progression. So for me, it's as straightforward as 8 hours on the trainer each week. I eat loads of jasmine rice and white sugar every single day. You got to carb up, and following the 80-20 training rule. Easy peasy. I forgot to mention that my current weight is 74 kilograms, which means I haven't gained any weight since the summer, which I know can be common for some cyclists in the off season. My target summer weight for the 2021 season is between 71 to 72 kilograms. Okay, so this is a point where I'm about to blow up. Compared to my last ramp test, you can see I have a lot more composure this time, despite my heart rate being at 187. I'm not moving around too much on the bike, and my cadence is still really, really good. These are all things that I've been really able to practice because of indoor training.
245. 245. All right, I'll take it.
So what do I think about my FTP of 247? Well, for starters, that is an increase of 11 watts from my previous ramp test where I received an FTP of 236. So it does show that my training regimen is in fact working. Number two, I've recently shown previous videos where I've averaged 251 watts for an hour-long race and 260 watts for a 30-minute race. So 247 is just slightly above my real-world output, but again, it just doesn't tell the whole story. One of the things I plan to be working on for the spring is my 30-second power outputs for sprinting and for attacking. Right now, it seems like my fitness would be really good for time trials where I'm able to put out a constant power at threshold over long durations, but it's those surges and those attacks and those sprints where it seems like my power is way below average. All in all though, my fitness is improving each month, and I'm super excited to see where my fitness is going to be at come the spring and summer months. So that's it guys. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. and I will check you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.